What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got a reaction to Judas Priest and their top 10 songs brought to us by our friend, longtime supporter and patron of the channel, River. Thank you, River. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, it's greatly appreciated. Check out that Patreon link below, the patron link on the end screen. Okay, I don't know anything about Judas Priest, right? They never had a hit in America, like never. Like, we'll get into all that. So I just never had them on my radar. Like, I've heard of them, obviously, and I heard of them growing up, but never listened to an album. I might know one of these songs, but, you know, I mean, you're just never really going to come in contact with it unless you seek it out. But River shared some stuff here, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you a little background on Judas Priest, and we're going to jump into this. River says, the Judas Priest list was super hard to whittle down because the band means a lot to me personally as an LGBT metalhead and as a fan of the genres as it existed since Sabbath. It's hard, after all, to whittle 50-year career to 10 songs, and that is doing these top 10s for these artists that are well established is almost impossible. But I gave them my best shot. Nobody's list, I'm sure, will be quite like mine, but hey, that's the point. Yeah, definitely. Judas Priest are the quintessential NWO BHM new wave of British heavy metal band, at least to me. Iron Maiden are bigger. Motorhead have their sound and take. I don't think anyone can take anything away from Saxon. But for me, it's Priest that defines the sound and place in heavy metal. They define the look, they define the rebelliousness, at least in my view. Rob Halford, coming out as gay when he did, defined for me that metal was for the outcast. And as a kid growing up when I did, LGBT folks were still the butt of the joke, and Halford gave that outcast definition a bite to it. They've been playing since 1969 and haven't lost a step, even as the lineup has changed, with Glenn Tipton no longer being able to play due to late-stage Parkinson's, or KK Downing forming his own band away from Halford and the other members of Judas Priest. So great breakdown from River. I'm going to take that and go a little bit further. I just found they've sold over 50 million albums and are frequently ranked as one of the greatest metal bands of all time. Despite an innovative and pioneering body of work in the latter half of the 70s, the band struggled with indifferent record production and lack of major commercial success until 1980, when the album British Steel brought them notable mainstream attention. The band's membership has seen much turnover. During the 70s, the core singer Rob Halford, guitarist Glenn Tipton and KK Downing, and bassist Ian Hill saw a revolving cast of drummers before Dave Holland joined them for 10 years from 1979 to 1989. Following Holland's departure, Scott Travis has been the band's drummer ever since. Halford left the band in 1992, and after a 4-year hiatus, Judas Priest regrouped in 1996 with Tim Ripper Owens, formerly of Winter's Bane, replacing Halford. I did not know that he was never not there. After 2 albums with Owens, Halford returned to the band in 2003. Downing left the band in 2011, replaced by Richie Faulkner. The current lineup consists of Halford, Tipton, Faulkner, Hill, and Travis. Tipton and Hill are the only 2 members of the band that appear on every album. Halford's operatic vocal style and the twin guitar sound of Downing and Tipton have become a major influence on heavy metal bands. Judas Priest's image of leather spikes and other taboo articles of clothing was widely influential during the glam metal era of the 80s. The Guardian referred to British Steel as the record that defines heavy metal. High praise. All right, if you've never been on this before, the music will not be in the video, but it'll be a Vimeo link below, so I invite you to follow along. Let's kick it off with number 10 on River's Top 10 Judas Priest songs. And we have Solar Angels from the album Point of Entry in 1981. At first listen, the song may appear to be about spirituality, but actually it delves into the struggle between good and evil, the search for redemption, and the battle against darkness. It's believed that Solar Angels was inspired by the band's fascination with the duality of human nature and their observation of the ongoing struggle between good and evil in the world. All right, I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, River. All right, Solar Angels. Downing and Tipton's guitars are the star on this for me. Rob's vocals are good. There's only 9 lines of lyrics, right? So it's just the feel of it, man. But it's a good rocker, man, and a good way to start this. I really did enjoy it. Next up, we have A Touch of Evil from the Painkiller album in 1990. Second single went to 58 in the UK, 29 on the US mainstream rock chart. It's the only song on the album that was co-written by producer Chris Sangaritis, who wrote the song's guitar riff, while the rest of the song was written by the main songwriting team, and I didn't really cover that, of Halford, Downing, and Tipton. The song's lyrics deal with demonic possession, black magic, and temptation to commit acts of evil. However, according to Halford himself, as cited in Metal Hammer in January 2004, the lyrics deal with a love-related theme, although metaphorically. Features a classically inspired guitar solo by Glenn Tipton. All right, let's go. All right, A Touch of Evil, fantastic guitar work. Just fantastic. The lyrics, I mean, it's either about him kind of giving in to Satan, which I hope not. I'm a Christian, by the way. Satan's real. You don't really want to joke about those things. Just my 2 cents. But he says it's a love thing. I can see that too. Like this girl just kind of, he can't control himself or whatever, right? Or guy or whatever, like this love interest, he can't control himself. So he just will do whatever to be with them. So I think a lot of us have been in that situation before as well. So once again, guitar work, stand out. Next up, number 8 from the Killing Machine album in 1978, we got Hellbent for Leather. River says a small note about this song. This song and Priest's look define the look of metal for decades to come. You'll see the look we're talking about shortly. Yes, we're going to launch a couple of vids. Not this time, though. Hellbent for Leather, by far our shortest song on here. Our next 2 songs are almost 8 minutes apiece. So, good song, man. Good song. I think it's about, I'm not even going to speculate what it's about, but I thought Rob sounded really good on here, and the guitar sound is just, it's just fantastic, man. It's just fantastic. But Rob being able to keep up with those guitars, especially on this song where there was, you know, quite a bit of lyrics that he has to go through, is it's not an easy feat, so impressive. Next up, we got Victim of Changes from the Sad Wings of Destiny album all the way back in 1976. River says, I decided to include a live version here, as to me, Priest has to be seen to be understood along with her. Metal is, after all, also defined by the performance. I found Adrian Begram, writing for Pop Matters, claimed that this song changed the course of metal history. Rob's performance is considered one of his finest ever. The song has come to be regarded as one of the band's classics, and Martin Popoff listed it as number 17 in his top 500 heavy metal songs of all time. So just some high praise. The song is a combination of 2 songs by 2 Judas Priest singers. Whiskey Woman by Priest founder Al Atkins and guitarist K.K. Downey, and Red Light Lady by, of course, Rob Halford. Rob says Victim of Changes is essentially what Priest is all about. Probably one of the all-time classic Judas Priest songs. High praise, right? Coming from the man himself. All right, Victim of Changes. What a fantastic performance, right? Everybody's firing all cylinders. The drumming, I mean, Tipton and Downing on the guitar work is the star, but Rob is right there with him. Just fantastic. It was from 1983. Remember, the song's from 76, but the performance is from 83. And that was like a lit crowd, right? A huge crowd. But that was good to be able to see them live and just understand the power that they have. All of it, all together, was fantastic. Next up at number 7 from the Ran It Down album in 1988, we got Blood Red Skies. Rob said Blood Red Skies will be a really unique track. It has all the dark and light construction elements that are all different characters of metal, peculiarities that are in Victim of Changes. This begins in a weird way with some atmospheric drum effects, and it tells a robot story and pneumatic fingers and laser rays. It's a metallic fantasy in which Priest are the best. KK said this song is arguably the most epic and dramatic Priest song to have been written. I really felt during this composition that it was full of emotion. Using my favorite 6th interval from A to F in the main structure was a very important ingredient, along with the great work that Rob did with his lyrics. They certainly created a visual landscape that was full of intrigue and excitement. All right, Blood Red Skies. A longer song where everybody can just cook, as we like to say, right? When you got 2, not 1, but 2 world-class guitarists, you got to let them each have their time. And that's what I like about some of these songs so far. They've done that. And Rob really showing off on this one, that operatic voice that we talked about at the start. Man, can he flat out bring it. But this song is just a musical journey, right? From the way it starts to just getting it. I mean, the drumming is also really good as well. But, you know, I'm a broken record as we're halfway through this, but it's the guitars and it's Rob. Next up at number 5, the only song I couldn't really find anything. We got the Sentinel from the album Defenders of the Faith. All right, all fear the Sentinel, right? He's coming for you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So the song's more menacing, right? Because he's coming for you, and you just feel it. You feel it in Rob's lyrics and in his vocals, and then the guitar work. I know it's just so fantastic, right? You just feel that it wins that atmosphere to like something's about to go down, and it's not going to be good. I'm gonna come up to the song that I've heard once or twice. I really haven't heard it a lot, but you've got another thing coming. From the Screaming for Vengeance album in 1982, River says, Trey has stated before, my partner in crime on this channel, before, Screaming for Vengeance is his favorite Priest album, and it's understandable for why. With a track like this that has never gone out of fashion, it's to me like it's always been there. And then I found 67 in the US, 66 in the UK, making it Judas Priest's only song to make the US charts. VH1 ranked it 5th on their list of the 40 greatest metal songs. Rob said the lyrics were just about, quote, just this attitude that we've always had in Priest. And I dare say we've always had in our personal way of dealing with issues that are sent to challenge us. It's also wrapped up in the heavy metal community culture of the way we support each other with our metal. It's very much a song of hope and rising above the issues or difficulties that come your way. It's a song of resilience as well. Let's go. All right, you've got another thing coming. I did know this song, not greatly though, like I said, but it's a fantastic song. Rob said, in another interview, basically, it's like, you get what you work for, right? If you don't do anything, you got nothing coming to you. But he's telling anybody who's coming at him, like, you got to know they're coming, man. I'm here. I'm going to live my life to the fullest. I'm not going to let you get to me. So a wonderful, wonderful song, man. And so far, I'm going to give it away. It's my favorite so far. But that song's great. All the way up to number 3, we got the Hellion / Electric Eye. It's really Electric Eye right off Screaming for Vengeance in 1982. River said, and of course, you can't do Electric Eye without its opening part. So this may be cheating. It's really not, man. But considering they've never performed Electric Eye without its opening part, I feel it's necessary. And I would agree if that's the case. I found it's an allusion to the book 1984 by George Orwell, of course, in the name of the pseudo-omniscient camera that watches over the community at all times. In this dystopia, the form of government, INGSOC, newspeak for English socialism, is utterly totalitarian. And if citizens are caught rebelling in any manner, they, quote, disappear. So in this song, however, the cameras are upgraded to take the form of a powerful satellite that is elected to take pictures that can prove and keep the country clean. Thus, the song has been called prescient for its depiction of modern surveillance state. You got that right. Operating within the context of an ostensibly democratic nation. So a lot of stuff going on here. And this is another one we're going to watch a live version of. All right, so the Hellion / Electric Eye. Just really powerful performance, right? Sometimes in these performances that are live, like that guitar and that drumming was so fantastic. It's a little hard to decipher what Rob is saying. Like, he's got plenty of power in his vocals, but it's just really, really well done. Yeah, I mean, as a band, you got to see live, right? Because you feel the power. And I will throw a shout out to Dave Holland on the drums. I haven't mentioned him much, but fantastic drumming there. Like, really, really powerful. All right, we got 2 songs left. Next up, you see it below, Painkiller, off the album of the same name in 1990. 74 in the UK. It was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance. The lyrics tell the story of the Painkiller, the character featured on the cover of the album, who's a cyborg superhero who saves mankind from destruction. The drum intro was composed by Scott Travis in the studio, initially just as a warm-up routine, while the engineers were testing the drum microphones. All right, Painkiller. An insane, right, showcase for musicianship. Just fantastic. Scott Travis's drumming, that machine gun drumming at the start, he carries it on throughout parts of the song, but is just so, so good. And Downing and Tipton's guitars are as good as they've been, and that's saying something on this list. And Rob can hang with all those, right? You gotta have a vocalist, man, that can really, really bring it, and he does. This is just fantastic. And I found a few other things about this song that I didn't share at the start. Rob said, I think it's a wonderful statement. It embodies what metal is. It's everything full-on screaming metal tracks should have. Everybody's going a million miles an hour on it, and yet the melody still comes across. And I think that's what I'm going to get ahead of myself here. We still got one song left, but that's what I've noticed about these Priest songs. Right? They're not just screaming metal. They actually have melody. It's really good. So I think it's become a very important song for Priest and for metal as well. And yeah, it's fantastic. Tipton said that the solo on this is his favorite solo to play, which is also high praise. All right, we still got one song left. Did you see it below? We got Dreamer, Deceiver, South, the Sad Wings of Destiny album in 1976. River says it seems sacrilegious to not put Painkiller at number 1. So remember that River said this before you freak out below in the comments. It is their most played song outside Breaking the Law. But for me, Dreamer, Deceiver is one of those songs that is so well done and so outside of Priest's normal sound, but still so easily fits their catalog. I couldn't not put it as my favorite. And I found the lyrics describe a mystical figure who takes the narrator up through the sky. He ends up, quote, lost above and is in peace of mind. He then instructs the listener to try it and find a way. The guitar solo in this one is played by Tipton. He's also on the piano. Dreamer, Deceiver, River's number 1 Judas Priest song. That really shows off Rob's operatic range. It's just crazy stuff right there. I thought that song was really well done. It is definitely different from the other stuff that we've heard, but not in a bad way. So I could see if you'd heard this song for a lot, how it would really grow on you. Before we get to my faves, we're going to get to River's final thoughts. River says, there was a lot of songs I had to cut. Honestly, all of British Steel could be a review on its own. Songs like Heading Out on the Highway or Heavy Duty / Defenders of the Faith, Exciter, or One Shot of Glory were some of the hardest cuts I had to make. So my faves, honorable mention, Blood Red Skies. Faves are going to be Victim of Changes. I don't know if that's because I saw it at the concert and it was so well done. You've Got Another Thing Coming, and Painkiller, just fantastic stuff. So never dove into Judas Priest. This is really good stuff. And I mentioned it earlier on Painkiller when I talked about Rob's quote, but it's not just thrash metal, right? You have You have melody in here. Rob's vocals are fantastic, and then the guitar work is just next level. I mean, just next level. So fantastic stuff. Let me know what your favorites are below. What are your top 10s? Remember, River said this at the start. Your list is not going to be the same as River's, and it's going to be very difficult to put one together. So show some love to River. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, give this a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We have over 2,500 videos. You're going to find something else that you like on there, although this is the first Judas Priest video. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you.